Hi guys. So just when you thought that you were going to have a day free from me, surprise, I made you a video on Words to Go Lesson 8. So we have done plenty of these before. You are familiar with Words to Go. You know what the expectations are. You will be working on this during class today, and it is due at the end of the period. That means that you are not taking this home and completing it for a homework assignment. You cannot use a homework pass to do it. You have to complete Words to Go Lesson 8. So please use your time wisely. Be on task. No, you cannot listen to music. No, you are not collectively working on your Words to Go packet and copying answers off of one another. You can do the work on your own. I know you can. So put your best effort forth and try. With that being said, I'm going to explain the words to you like we usually do when we do Words to Go so that you have a slightly better understanding of them. The first word on our list is antidote. An antidote is almost like a medicine that you would take to reverse the effects of something that's poisonous. So if you were to ingest something that was poisonous, you would go to the hospital and they would give you some sort of antidote to counteract the poison so that you would be okay. You can also use that word if it's like something that you're doing to cure something else. So the example in your paper says that the concert was an antidote for being in a bad mood. You could say that as well. But most of the time, antidote will be used as like a medicine that's used to counteract a poison. The next word on our list is bedlam. Bedlam is like a synonym for chaos. So sometimes when they call a fire drill, it's absolute bedlam outside in the parking lot because kids are just running all over the place. Or in between classes, the hallways are bedlam because there's all sorts of disorder and it's chaotic out there. Next on our list is designate. Designate could either mean that you're designating a thing, like the stickers on the chart on the front board designate your behavior for the day. They show something, they point it out. It's marked by a symbol, either red, yellow, or green. The example on your paper says that blue lines on a map usually designate a river, just like triangles on a map usually designate that there are mountains there. Or you could designate a person to a position, and in that instance, designate would be almost like a synonym to the word appoint. So I could designate 2 students to be the class leader, or you could designate someone to speak on behalf of your group or something along those lines. Next on your list is ethical. If you're doing something that's ethical, that means that it's right or justified. So an ethical choice would be one that would be legal. You would be abiding by all of the laws. It's the morally right thing to do. The opposite of that would be the word unethical. So if something is unethical, it means that it's incorrect, it sort of goes against the rules of society. You shouldn't do it. It's wrong. It might not necessarily always be illegal, but if you're doing something that's unethical, it means that it's not the right thing to do. Next is extensive. If something is extensive, it means that it's like large in area, it's being done in great detail. If you've done extensive research on a paper that you're writing, it means that you've done all kinds of research. You've done a lot of research. You've read 10 different books and articles on what you're supposed to be writing on. So it's had a great effect, a large amount, something that's great in number. All right, something that's indispensable means that it's absolutely necessary. So getting water is indispensable. You can't live without water. No, that doesn't mean that you need to go to the water fountain 3 times a class period during every class period, but your body needs water for you to survive. Okay, so something like water would be indispensable. It's absolutely necessary or essential for you to be a human being. The next word is medieval. Medieval is a word that refers to the Middle Ages. So the time period of like 500 to 1500. So after the Roman Empire fell, Europe went into the medieval period. So any stories that you would have heard about like knights or Vikings or the Black Death happened during the medieval period. That's what medieval refers to. So a time period between like 500 and 1500 in Europe when life and technology were sort of going backwards. All right, the next word is oust. If you have been ousted from something, it means that you've been like forced out or pushed out. So there are only 4 desks in every group. If 5 people wanted to sit in a group together, one of those people got ousted. They were forced out or pushed out or driven out because there's only 4 desks per group. Top word in the right-hand column is preposterous. If something is preposterous, it means that it's like completely illogical. It doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's just like a crazy, against the truth statement or idea, something that's hard for people to believe. All right, the next word is seep. Seep is a verb and it means to like ooze out slowly. I always think, I'm going to give you a gross example. If you've ever had a cut or a scrape that required you to put a Band-Aid on it and you spread that Neosporin on your Band-Aid, sometimes you get a little bit too much and it starts to seep through. So the outside of your Band-Aid might like look or feel kind of wet because all of your Neosporin has seeped through your Band-Aid. Or if you have a really gross cut, sometimes like the blood from your cut might seep through your Band-Aid and you can see it, or ew, I know that's gross, but that's what seep means, to like leak out or ooze out. All right, the next word is spunk. Spunk means that you have like enthusiasm or personality or courage or something. So you might hear somebody described as spunky. That would be the adjective form of this word. But you could say, with her spunk, she can get through anything, or she'll finish her assignment even though she's tired, or something along those lines. All right, next is succumb. Succumb is a verb that means that you like give in because there's a lot of pressure for you to do so. So if after asking your parents 5,000 times, your parents finally give in to whatever it was that you were asking them for, they have succumbed. They have folded under pressure or force to give in to whatever you have been asking for. My mom did not succumb to anything. If I asked twice, the answer was for sure no, because if she said no the first time, that's what she meant. All right, the next word is vanity. Vanity comes from like the word vain. So if someone is vain, they're extremely concerned with their like appearance or their ability, what other people think of them. So vanity would be the noun form of that. So someone would like have vanity. But if you know somebody who's extremely concerned with making sure that they always have the nicest of everything and everybody knows it, or they're extremely concerned with their outward appearance, those would be examples of vanity. All right, next is vigilant. Vigilant means that you are like incredibly aware or alert, and it usually refers to like looking out for danger. So somebody who's waiting up to make sure that, nobody breaks in, or let's say that you have, discovered some sort of treasure and you want to make sure that nobody tries to take it from you. You'd be very vigilant or watchful to make sure that there was no trouble or danger around your area. All right, and the very last word is witticism. Witticism is a noun that refers to like a clever or amusing remark. Sometimes you might hear somebody described as being witty. A witty person would make witticisms. So the example on your page says, the class howled at Spencer's witticism. Even the teacher cracked a smile. Sometimes you guys have really good one-liners that just, mean that you're paying attention and, you're clever and you have something that's like kind of smart to say. It might not always be polite, but it is smart and witty. So that's what a witticism is.